The need to actually stay abreast with the latest developments, and organisations more and more realise that if they want to tap into the strategic value that this profession can unlock, they have to develop and train their people.
Companies are starting to appreciate what procurement can deliver. I think training and development is critical.
And we've begun to invest heavily in better training, better qualification support, and focus on the young, bright talent that is coming through, and put in place the right opportunities, the right education, the right coaching and mentoring support.
So come and attend conference just to make sure that you learn from other people, you network with other corporates.
It's very, very important that we start to form those relationships, to start to interact within those circles, to meet, discuss, debate, and ultimately agree.
The conference becomes more of a checkpoint of what we agreed upon last year, and a continuation of planning what needs to be looked for going ahead.
Very importantly, also collaborate with other like-minded corporate entities.
Can you change the way you do things? Is it just pure savings, or is it total cost of ownership? What are the things that drive you? And people with experience, whether they're young or old, can actually guide your way in procurement.
Supply chain and procurement over the next 5 or 6 years will become a much more integrated part of all the businesses that we work inside. Not to be an afterthought, but rather be something that's inside the business strategy and decision making.
Smart procurement is potentially one of the best conferences or best partners that we've worked with, who have helped bring the knowledge about the power of procurement and how you can integrate it with the SMEs and how you can use that link to stimulate sustainable entrepreneurship in South Africa.
Smart procurement is a platform that brings both public and private sector together, and in bringing the relevant practitioners and in bringing the companies that are involved, you're able to make more informed decisions around smart procurement and around procurement for a company in a way that allows you to become more competitive, over time. And through this particular platform, it allows the entrepreneur to know just where the opportunities in terms of procurement are.
This platform is presenting us with an opportunity for a cross-pollination of ideas. It creates an opportunity for us to grow in terms of developing supply chain management as a profession. And I would like to particularly thank the Department of National Treasury, and more so to thank the attendees, because without the attendees then we won't have Smart Procure bringing us together like this.
There's a lot of really senior people there, and to go and make an effort to go and meet with them, chat to them.
Attending events like Smart Procurement World are really important for a professional to develop his own networks, their own ability to upskill themselves, get new ideas and new concepts.
Network, to get ideas, to share thoughts, to talk about best practice.
We found that with a lot more education, a lot more networking, attending events such as Smart Procurement, the professionalism of the procurement and supply chain group of people that are involved in all of these companies are seen very, very differently, and are far more respected.
As an event, has managed to draw together both novices, experts, as well as interested parties in the area of procurement and supply chain, not just from private sector but the public sector. And it's because of the diverse nature of the agenda that is covered. It's really a good environment for a whole host of different perspectives, different knowledge sharing opportunities.
Networking is very important.
I think networking is the thing that you need to do.
Awareness, collaboration, networking. Speak to your peers, speak to your colleagues, understand what's best practice, and just get to know what's happening.
It allows information to be shared. It allows you to meet the heads of procurement from the various companies that you can start an engagement with and continue that over time, because it's encouraged that companies, both large and small, utilize the opportunity presented by the Smart Procurement Summit to be able to further engage and further do their business itself.
The Smart Procurement World conferences is the unique opportunity where we can meet and mingle and start unlocking ideas amongst ourselves.
The last 10 years, one has seen a realistic paradigm shift. We need to be innovative, we need to have a different skill set. We are at the cusp of an exciting change. And I think institutions such as the DTI are taking not just technology approaches, but also deep-rooted institutional approaches.
Give the guys a bit of a foresight of what's happening, bring peers together to discuss topical issues that they might have and prepare for the next 10 years. But making sure you add value to your organizations through a cross-functional level.
Mostly we need to start getting tools and move from us doing things in a manual way. Things should get to be automated.
Environment like the conference gives professionals the opportunity to network, to speak to like-minded people, and actually to challenge thought leadership.
Position your company as a thought leader in the market. It's also a place where you can share best practices.
I think it's a good environment for some thought leadership to really shine through.
It's about understanding what's best practice, about taking back learning lessons into our own organizations.
Procurement and supply chain professionals to come and engage in terms of looking at what's cutting edge within the industry.
Things that's happening around the world that we need to actually consider, making sure that we bring best practice into the country, making sure that we understand exactly what's happening in other parts of the world and bringing those practices to South Africa so that we actually can move towards world class in that space. To learn from thought leaders.
For a lot of the SMMEs that are part of the event, it's about that first level of introduction, about knowing who's out there.
I think what we should look at achieving is value add. What is it that we can take to our organization and add value?
Key thoughts and principles that you can go back and implement in your organization and be able to extract value to your business and being able to demonstrate to your leaders that the function can add significant value to their business.
Take at least 2 or 3 things back to the workplace they can physically apply as what they've seen and learnt of within a conference.
Well, I would like to see more supply chain professionals improving their competencies.
But our measurement should be in terms of how are we delivering value as supply chain into an organization.
The strategic advance of the profession has almost been exponential, because we can do a lot in terms of formal training, which is great, but environment like the conference, you know, and everything that's around that actually gives professionals the opportunity to network, to speak to like-minded people, and actually to challenge thought leadership.
A number of professional organizations that have professionalized this organization, especially organizations like SIPS that has come in, and of course many other organizations that has assisted in bringing about training and all other interventions that we all need.
What Smart Procurement and Commerce Edge have done is actually elevate the function. The function has its rightful seat, as you say, and I'm quite pleased and proud to be associated.
What SPW has done is really to ensure that they professionalize the procurement profession. For me, what is critical is to ensure that we need to continue to ensure that we bring in both the public and private sectors into one conference.
We're a profession now.
The Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply in South Africa, from a very low base, it's developed into a really important pivotal role. Smart Procurement World's played a big part in helping to professionalise, and really focus on the development of procurement and supply chain in South Africa and upwards into Africa over the last 10 years.
Through what you guys have done in the last 10 years or so, the professionalization of procurement is really going to kickstart very soon. I think we need to all look at the content. And obviously I know smart procurement with your experts, you are looking at that.
Every time I come to the conference, one comes up, rejuvenized and energized with new ideas that you can go and implement within our own space.
Very importantly, also collaborate with other like-minded corporate entities.
Our association with Absa, our association with Smart Procurement World, has played a role in facilitating best practice, facilitating an understanding of what others are doing out there and why we need to be thought leaders in this space. So those that are driving supply development with the sustainable impact, I would say those are the guys that really need a special mention.
And collaboration between the public service and state-owned companies as well as the private sector, because we have that joint responsibility. Our procurement muscle.
That it has grown beyond Gauteng being a national event. We've been to Cape Town, recently been in Durban, and I think we're making inroads to the real areas that matter, ensuring that there is that strategic partnership between the private sector and the public sector. This platform is presenting us with an opportunity for a cross-pollination of ideas.
Of what ESD can do and has done. Procurement has over creating sustainable entrepreneurship in any country. When procurement is used as a cornerstone, the results are always good success. Come and learn about the new innovative ideas of how you can get supply chains to work with the SMEs.
That requires the procurement professionals basically to think differently about how they're buying strategies, to think differently as to whom they source from, to think differently about which suppliers they choose to develop so that they've got future supply basically in years down the line. Enterprise and supply development does not happen without the collaboration between the ED practitioners and the procurement practitioners. So the more we collaborate, can we then start to move the needle along?
It's a great opportunity to gain exposure to a host of decision makers as well as policy formulators with one shared objective, that of promoting the interests of the discipline of procurement and supply chain, while at the same time addressing issues of social upliftment, transformation.
The conference started off with 300 delegates. It's up to over 3,000 now. And if you look at who participate, it's really across the board in the industry, from government, state-owned entities, corporate South Africa, including the banks. From an SME perspective, it is a platform to obtain access to markets, also, of course, access to finance.
Access to markets is one of the biggest challenges, and getting credible small businesses into the arena of corporate supply chains I think is the number one challenge for us collectively. And I think when we can achieve that and when we can drive that, we're going to have a growing small business sector at the forefront of supply development to grow a healthy small business sector in South Africa. Corporates integrated into what needs to be achieved. So I think the next 10 years is going to be an exciting journey.
Joining forces with like-minded companies to tackle the issues, the strategic objectives, the socio-economic developmental objectives of our country. And if you look at procurement, especially for companies such as Transnet, we can leverage off our large procurement spend to be able to lead in the transformation and empowerment of our supply base, as well as to direct investments into localization and hopefully industrialization, so we can create that export-driven growth that the country really needs. And obviously that really meets the needs of government.
Supply chain inclusion, supply chain diversity are fundamental to creating competitive supply chains.
Both the procurement professionals and also the SMEs from all over the country, to ensure that we bring in both the public and private sectors, that you incorporate best practices with the transformation reality of South Africa.
We use the platform to showcase those products. It's a platform that our members appreciate in that it provides them with opportunities to link up with other SMMEs who are able to then buy from them, who are able to do joint ventures with them. So broadly, it provides a huge market access opportunity for our member companies. There are members who've left the conference with solid business deals.
Smart procurement, in partnership with other stakeholders, has actually done a sterling job for exposing small businesses to opportunities within the public sector and also in the private sector. A lot of those companies have actually graduated. They are successful.
It's always good to show the linkages and how the linkages have worked.
We have engaged with and in fact signed up upwards of 5 contracts as a result of having been at the Expo, and we continue to speak to other corporates today.
If you look at technology and the role that technology can play, who knows where the limits are. So I think it's really important for professionals to stay abreast.
We need to start getting tools and move from us doing things in a manual way. Things should get to be automated.
And we're seeing so many disruptive technology coming in.
Which in itself is why I would recommend anybody attend Smart Procurement World.
As a brand on the continent, people are beginning to take note of the achievements that you've made in the last 10 years. The future looks very bright for procurement thanks to Smart Procurement and Commerce Edge.
Somebody that played a huge role in establishing SIPs in South Africa was a lady called Karen van Vieren that unfortunately passed away a few years ago. So I think it would be really unfair not to thank Karen for a visionary role. If you see where it all started out, I think there were probably 200 people at the most. And now this large-scale event, and it's an event that we will continue to support and in a way actually try to get closer to the event. But yes, I think it's really well done and congratulations, and who knows what the next 10 years is going to deliver, but really exciting times.
It's very important for us to acknowledge the time and the effort that is taken by both huge players within the public sector as well as the private sector procurement space, to the small suppliers for taking the effort to be there. It's part of a collective and everybody plays a role in that regard.
Firstly, the government institutions that we work with, also state-owned entities and also our corporate partners. We're all looking forward to the next 10 years. So yeah, all the best.
Well done, 10 years, and we've been along with this journey 5 years in a row now, and we've seen it grow, and we've been part of that growth, and we've helped the growth, and we've experienced good things out of it. So yeah, to the next 10 years, well done.
My hat goes off to Smart Procurement on their 10th anniversary. They have been able to really persevere, push through, and also created a forum that is definitely world-class in allowing professionals to come together. And good luck for the next 20 years.
10 years in a marriage is a long time, let alone in an organization. I think this organization has grown up to here. I wish this organization could grow beyond the 10 years, and we should learn more out of it, and it should contribute to the total country's supply chain management profession. And good luck going forward.
The guys in this area put together a really world-class event. So I would really support anyone to be associated with Smart Procurement and Commerce Edge.
To the attendees, I would like to say to you, keep the focus, engage with the suppliers who are here, and there is more to gain, there is more to learn, and there is more to share.
I think it's fantastic. 10 years, it's super, it's going in the right direction, it's doing the right thing there. It's a professional body. I've always been so happy to support it. Now in my retirement ages there, I can still think this is a great place to be and a great thing to support.
Congratulations to Commerce Edge and Smart Procurement, and I'm hoping to come to the 25th anniversary.
I think Professor Douglas Boateng, he has been a stalwart for many a year. Bernie in his own capacity, having started out many moons ago, and just stayed course. He identified his true north and he stuck it out. And today it is one of the recognized institutions, and I think it can become a Pan-African institution.
My challenge to you is you got to do more in the next few years than you have done in the past, because the opportunity is now to make sure that we use and leverage the power that procurement has to develop sustainable economies. And we're looking forward to doing some work with you in the future.
I just wanted to congratulate Smart Procurement on their 10th anniversary. I think it's a fantastic achievement. I know that they're a trusted partner of Transnet, and we've seen the quality of our individuals growing over the times that we've been attending the conferences and working with you. So thank you very much, and look forward to the next 10 years.